And we're speeding.
Speeding.
Okay, everybody. Our parents met in the 1980s when Sue and Barb worked together at St. Peter's School in Cambridge.
Yep.
And they bonded over being pregnant.
Yeah. Barb was pregnant with me and Sue was pregnant with Emily. And when they both gave birth, then they started having play dates for me and Emily. We would just hang out together as little babies, and she would be like, goo goo, and I'd be like, gaga.
So our parents got together with two other couples and started something called a dinner group, where they just get together and they would eat dinner.
They'd like rotate houses and host dinner parties.
So they would just sit around and they'd be like, this is great. This is what dinner should be about.
And then they were probably like, oh my God, wouldn't it be so weird if our kids got married? And then they just laughed and laughed.
The first time I knew you existed, I don't know what year it was, like 2009 maybe, that you made that Twilight spoof. And I was like, what? I was watching it and you were in this like pink underwear outfit and I totally didn't get it, and then I found out later that it was because you were a male model and that was one of your photo shoot outfits. Yeah. Like pink underwear and like a puffy vest.
Yeah. Until one fateful dinner group in 2011 when your parents actually was at my house, so I was there, and I just made that Even the Brave.
Even the Brave.
So
underrated film.
In that period of time, my parents showed everyone who came over Even the Brave. God bless their hearts. And unfortunately,
your first short film.
The dinner group got caught in that crossfire.
I was in film school at the same time in Toronto, and my parents came back from dinner group and were like, oh, like Sue and Rick's son made a short film. You should watch it. So my mom sent me the link to the video and I was like, yeah, okay, I'll watch it. And as I'm watching it, I was like, this guy's like pretty hot. I was like, I'm gonna Facebook message this guy. So I found him on Facebook and I was like, hey Kyle, you probably don't know me, but we might have hung out as babies. Just wanted to let you know that I'm a film student too, and I liked your movie, and I thought you wanted to know.
And so I said back, hey. And then I hit enter by accident, and I was like, oh shit. And then I was like, I'm so happy you watched my movie. And then I said something stupid like, I just saw Fast 5, it was terrible. Don't go see Fast 5. Enter.
Got that message and I was like, I just saw Soul Surfer and it was really bad, so don't see Soul Surfer.
So our conversations continued like that, and then eventually, because neither of us was saying whether we should hang out or not, you came to the conclusion that we should just end the conversation.
Pretty much.
And you said,
well, we have a lot of mutual friends, maybe we'll run into each other sometime.
And then I said, why don't we not leave it up to chance and run into each other on purpose?
Yeah, that's what he said. So I texted Kyle and I was like, yo, Symposium's open, let's go there. I walked up to the restaurant and when I walked in the door, Kyle's already standing there in like this super deep V.
And I was like, hi. And you were like,
Kyle?
And I was like, Katie?
Like, hi.
Hi. And then we stood there, we were waiting, and we were like,
hey.
Hey.
So we sit down and Kyle just proceeds to tell me about all these ridiculous and terrible things that have ever happened to him. And I was like, wow, this guy is super confident.
Well, it's not confidence. I was like, why not? Like, on the first date, I'll tell her everything that's ever happened to me that's really, really bad. And then the bar is super low. And then you just kind of climb from there.
I ordered a chai latte because I didn't really know much about coffee at the time. And you ordered, I don't know, like an Americano or something?
No, I wouldn't have known what that is.
You probably just got a coffee.
Coffee, for sure.
I was so nervous. My eyes were darting all over the place and I just grabbed that latte and I chugged it.
She drank the whole thing in about 5 minutes. Like I maybe had
like a mug the size of your face type of latte, and I was so nervous.
She chugged the shit
I chugged
out
it.
of it.
So this guitar player comes in, acoustic guitar player comes in, and he sits down right behind us, like a foot away, and he's just jamming out on this acoustic guitar. And he's like, this is a story of a girl who cried a river and drowned the whole world. Well, she looked so sad in photographs, absolutely love her. Wow, we actually can't hear each other anymore. My coffee is done. Let's just move this party elsewhere. We get out of the restaurant and we walk down the street to the Princess, and we're like, 2 tickets to Source Code, please. And they're like, cool, that's cash only. And Kyle looks at his debit card and he's like, shit. And I was like, I got you, bro. And I bought his ticket, and I could tell he was like, uh-oh, I feel weird about this.
I did feel weird about that because, I don't know.
Anyways.
You shouldn't though, right?
No, you bought my coffee, I bought the movie tickets, it was fine. So we go in and see Source Code.
It was a cheap date for me. It was pretty sweet.
Although chai lattes are kind of pricey.
I think it was like $3. Tickets like $10.
Sweet. So the movie ended and we went back to our cars, and I was like, that was really fun. And then I just got in the car and drove away.
You got in the car so quickly. And then I was like, should I don't know. I was like, okay, I guess I'm gonna get my car too. Even though I wanted to hug you.
Sky rockets in flight. Boo! Afternoon delight. Boo!
So after our first date when you got home, what were your honest thoughts about me?
I was really excited to talk to like a super hot guy about movies for a while, and I was 100% down to hang out again.
Okay, good. So our conversations continued.
And I was like, what are you doing? Do you want to come over and watch a movie? And you were like...
I was like, totally. Why don't we watch our mutual favorite movie,
The Count of Monte Cristo. Kyle comes over to my parents' house where I was living, and we go down to the basement where the good TV is and the nice, like, reclinable couch. And Kyle just, like, makes himself comfortable on the couch. He's like, yo, this couch is sick.
The couch is sick.
I am feeling weird because it's my house and my parents are home, and I'm sitting like a full 2 feet away from him.
I was here.
I was over here.
You were over there.
And Kyle goes,
do you have a blanket?
And I was like, yeah, man, I've got a bunch. And I throw him a blanket, and he puts it on.
And I was like, hey, are you cold as well? Why don't you come under this blanket?
And I was like, holy shit, this guy is smooth.
That was smooth.
And I was like, yeah, I'm cold too. And so I like got under the blanket with him.
And we snuggled up.
And we were watching Count of Monte Cristo. And I'm like, this is awesome.
And I'm like, holy shit. I'm touching her arm and like her back with my upper arm. And then I can feel that your heart's beating because you're alive.
Pretty much the entire time I'm thinking, oh my god, I'm bad at this.
So it's all on my shoulders here. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, it's all on my shoulders here. I need to lean in and make a move for a kiss. So what do? As soon as the movie ends, we separate and we talk for another 45 minutes. and I'm sitting there like saying something stupid, and you're like, oh, that sounds awesome.
Eventually I'm like, all right, well, I'll walk you out. And so we go up to the front hall, and we're like about to say goodbye. And I'm like, hey, this was really fun. We should do it again sometime.
And then I'm thinking in my head, this is your moment, dude. This is when you have to make a move. It's now or never. And then I say, hey, this has been really fun. We should do this again sometime. And then I grabbed her by the small of her back.
And I was like, it's go time. And I grabbed him by the back of the neck, and I like made it pretty well known that I was into it. And we had a really good first kiss.
It was a good first kiss.
And for the next like 30 minutes, I just like sat there and was like, damn, that was a good kiss. And then after that, the rest is history. We hung out a bunch, we talked about movies a bunch, fell in love,
You guys know the ending of this story because you're here right now, celebrating us
Yeah.
getting married to each other.
Cheers.